So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're going to take a look at a pretty simple Mag Prime build that requires just one Forma. Now what we're going to do with that Forma is change the V polarity in the aura to a dash so we can fit in Energy Siphon. An Energy Siphon is probably the best aura you can use for a caster frame like Mag. It will continuously replenish your energy so you can use more abilities, which is kind of the point with a caster frame like Mag. And you also get 14 additional mod capacity, which will allow you to fit in this entire build with just one Forma. So the first mod is Transient Fortitude, and this just flat out increases the damage of all of Mag's abilities. Then we have Stretch, which also affects all of Mag's abilities. Flow is there to increase the energy pool, and this is kind of important because even though Mag is a caster frame, she doesn't have an awful lot of energy by default. Intensify once again increases the damage of all of her abilities. Streamline helps even further with a low energy pool, and then we have Greedy Pull, which is an awesome augment, and even though it's been nerfed, I will never take it off. Now, it's still an awesome augment even though it no longer pulls the items for the entire party. I mean, the synergy was nice and it made Mag more viable for the Greenier and the Infested, but in my opinion it made a lot of missions boring because I don't find it fun to stand in one spot and spam the hell out of my abilities for 10 minutes. I don't think it's fun, and it was also broken because if your party had carriers, it was a mess. The carriers would suck the items up, the players couldn't pick them up, they would get bugged, and it was a pain in the ass, especially in endless missions. And finally, I have my two defensive mods, and I'm using Vitality and Redirection, but you can swap Vitality with Vigor, because with Mag you get an absolute truck ton of shields. With maxed out Redirection you go over 1k shields, and if you swap Vitality with Vigor, you're gonna get even more shields, but then you have to be careful around slash procs and poison because those bypass shields, and since you don't have Vitality you have very little health and you are pretty squishy. I'm really starting to think that Stalker does not like my video recording software. This is like, what, the 4th time he showed up when I'm recording? Something like that? New way to farm the Stalker. Start recording with NVIDIA Shadowplay. Works all day, every day. Now Mag, apart from being an amazing frame, has one thing going for her in my opinion that's really awesome, and no other frame has it. And that's Greedy Pull. You don't need a carrier to vacuum everything into you. You can suck your own mods, even though it sounds really terrible and I should probably re-record this line. And while yes, the carrier is still useful for Mag, I can take another Sentinel into a mission and not feel like I'm leaving tons and tons of resources and mods behind. And that's awesome because the other Sentinels are really fun and they add a lot of utility. Now, of course, that's not everything Mag brings to the table. Shield Polarize, even though it's been nerfed over and over and over and over again, it's kind of a joke at this point, it still does a ton of damage. Alright, it scales endlessly, so it doesn't matter what the enemy level is, you're still gonna explode their shields and do a ton of damage to everyone in the blast radius. Then there is Bullet Attractor, which may not be the most useful ability of all time, but it still has its use. It has its place, it can be very useful in certain situations. And Crush is a pretty good AoE crowd control, and it does a ton of damage if you have decent power strength. So all in all, a very simple build that just requires a potato and one Forma for a frame that's really fun and actually pretty damn strong. Now if the video or audio quality is slightly off, please don't panic, my system SSD died today, so I had to reinstall everything and I'm still in the process of tweaking everything, alright? So it should be fine by the next video, but this one might be slightly different than what you're normally used to. And I thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.